So petty cash book, we are going to talk about petty cash book. Petty cash book is maintained by one small cashier called petty cashier. And this petty cashier takes a fixed amount from the main cashier. Okay, the company decides that petty expenses should be 5,000, 10,000, depending on the needs. They fix some amount to be a petty cash because there are certain items that are repetitive in nature and carry very small value. Okay, volume is big but the value is less. For example, number of stationary items like pins, so many alpins you will be using, and so many pencils you may be using, right? So they carry very small value. Eraser, very small value, maybe 2 rupees, 1 rupee, but they're large in volume, right? So this kind of all these kind of transactions enter into main cash book. What happens is the cash book becomes very bulky, and also it is burden on the main cashier. So what he'll do, he will take an assistant, the petty cashier, and he'll say, hey, look at this. I'm giving you a fixed amount every month. You spend from that fixed amount on all these petty expenses. Give me account at the end of the accounting period. So he will take that amount and he'll start spending the same amount that he has received. When petty cashier is receiving money, okay, he will credit that amount that he is receiving in the petty cash book, and all his spendings he will debit. Okay, the amount that he is receiving, he credits in the petty cash book, and all the amount, whatever is the payment, maybe he pays for the traveling expenses, maybe he pays for the postage, sometimes he may pay for cartage, sometimes he will pay for telegraph, telephone. So all these expenses are debited. Okay, and look at this. The petty cash book, broadly, it's of two types: columnar cash book and simply.
Can you share the screen, sir? We
Yes,
can't.
That's what I'm
we
asking.
can't
That's
We
what
can't see, sir.
we can't see the share the screen, sir.
I can't see.
You are still in the college portal.
Okay, that's what I asked. Okay. Okay. So the book wherein day-to-day petty expenses for a particular period of a business concern are recorded in a chronological order is petty cash book. If all the transactions are recorded in a chronological order for all your petty needs, okay, that book, that record is petty cash book. And petty cash book is of two types: analytical petty cash book or columnar petty cash book, or simple impress petty cash book. Now look at this columnar petty cash. This is the format of columnar cash book, petty cash book, columnar petty cash book, or analytical petty cash book. What is that you see? You will see this is the total amount spent, and this total amount, how do you get this total amount? On the same day, uh, if you're spending for postage, for cleaning, for stationery, the total of all these three will be recorded in total column. It is like that, right? So every item, all major items are given headings, right? Whatever you cannot, whatever you don't know, that you will dump it in miscellaneous. Let's say this is not a significant thing, this is not a repetitive thing, this is not very common item that comes, okay, then you can dump in miscellaneous expenses. Okay, we'll take a problem, then you will understand, okay. We'll come back to the discussion after working out a problem, because if you take a problem, then it is easy, right? So that is the format. Okay, last two columns I have excluded, okay, for convenience sake. Now look at this. This is the problem. January 1st, 2019, petty cash balance $150. On 1st, again, reimbursement by chief cashier through check 1350. On 4th, postal stamp. 6th, taxi fare. 10th, blank papers. 11th, peon. Okay, tips given to peon. 15th, traveling expenses. 18th, cartage. 20th, letter, postage. 24th, driver, this is violation of traffic rules, fine paid. Okay. 27, purchase of memo books, 75. There's a small error. Okay, I'll tell you what is that error. On 30th, on 30th,
Envelopes and
yeah, on 30th, paid for envelopes, and 31st paid for refreshment. This is the problem, and you're required to prepare a petty cash book, analytical petty cash book. Now look at this, analytical petty cash book or columnar petty cash book. Okay, I told you all the receipts are credited. Now look at this, cash received is credit, this is credit, and these are all debit. Look at this, so cash received. Okay, now on January 1st, 2019, there's a cash opening balance. There's cash opening balance. Okay, that's balance brought down. Balance brought down, right? They're maintaining an interest of 1500. These people are maintaining an interest of 1500. In the, what is that? What does it mean? In the beginning of the month or the accounting period, they maintain that 1500. Every month beginning, it should be 1500 in the petty cashier's hand. Okay, he has 150 which belongs to the previous accounting period, and he takes 1350 from the main cashier. Total amount should be available. Total amount that is, or that should be available with a petty cashier is 1500. Okay, so that 1500 is known as impressed. The entire system is impressed system. Okay, fine. Now 150 on first, this is in hand, and he takes a check from the main cashier and deposits in the bank. Okay, the bank balance is 1350. Okay, the total amount, or he may keep it with the bank, or he may withdraw from the bank and keeps it in the, dumps it in the cash box, petty cash box. Fine. Yeah. On 4th, postal stamp 50. Okay, postal stamp 50 on 4th, postage, okay, 50. Look at this, when you look at these columns, postage, cartage, stationery, traveling. How do you get in this problem? As I read, okay, the repetitive or what you feel main items for all the, you think main items, for all the items which you think important, you give a hit. There is no hard and fast rule. So postage and stamps, it's a common item, therefore you gave a heading. And traveling or taxi, okay, traveling is a common item, you have given a heading. And similarly, stationery, okay, stationery, look at this, traveling,
blank,
yeah, stationery,
blank papers and carton.
papers, yeah, stationery,
January 10th.
okay. And to shift the house or furniture, cartage, transportation. So you gave the headings. Look at it. The headings are 1, 2, 3, 4. It can be 5, it can be 10 also, these headings, depending on your convenience and your feasibility. Okay. And whatever you cannot fit in any of these headings, you dump them in miscellaneous. Whatever is not clear to you, dump it in miscellaneous. Whatever is confusing you or troubling you, dump it in miscellaneous. Don't worry much about it. Whatever you can categorize in a way that is convenient for you. You categorize into 5 or 6 or 3. It's your wish. The remaining, dump it in miscellaneous. Whatever you categorize, give heading. Whatever you cannot categorize, dump it in miscellaneous. Okay, right. Fourth, we have, what did we do? Postage. On fourth, postage, okay, 50 in postage column you have written. The total amount is brought again in and written in total column. Look at this. It is written in the total payment column. Okay, right. Why this total payment column is given separately when the same amount is put here? Because on the same fourth day, there may be some cartage happening, or there may be some stationery happening. Okay, stationery of 50, cartage of 50, and postage of 50. 50, 50, 50, 150 will be taken here. If there are items in other columns also. But here there is only one item, and that one item is the total. Okay, that one item itself becomes the total. Okay, right. Next is your sixth, paid taxi fare for supervisor, 100.
Travel.
Okay, sixth, traveling expense. Okay, traveling expense you're writing under traveling expense. Okay, 100. And you bring this 100 and dump it in, drop it in total payment column, the same amount. Next, traveling is over. Cost of blank papers and carbon papers. What is this? What is it?
Stationery.
Station. Okay, it is part of stationery. You gave a heading stationery, 150. Okay, so take this 150 and dump it in total payment column. Total payment column. And on the next day, yeah, cost of blank paper is so. On January 11th, tips given to coffee peon or peon simply for extra work. See, he has done some extra work. You gave some tip, $50. Okay, what will you do with that 50? Where do you drop?
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous. Where do you drop it? Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. 24. Miscellaneous expense. Hey, what's that? No, I'm sorry. No. Yeah, January 11th. Miscellaneous expense. 50. You have dropped in 50. Under 50, you have dropped. And the same is taken in the total column. 50. Okay. Next. On January 15th, local traveling expenses. Traveling simply, 75. Traveling, 15th January, traveling expenses. Come straight under traveling, write 75. And bring this 75 to the total. Okay, right here. Next. On 18th, paid cartage for shifting office furniture, 350. You have given a heading cartage, under cartage. Okay, so 18th, cartage, right? Under cartage, you have written 350, and this is against cartage on January 18th. Okay, on January 18th. Next, 20th, 25 spent to send a registered letter by post. Okay, what is this?
Postage.
Postage. Under postage, okay, on 20th, post under postage and stamps, 25. And the same total is brought here and dropped. 20. Okay, next is the driver paid the fine of 150 on 24th. Okay, sir, wo chalan de diya, sir. You know, he comes to the office and tells the cashier, petty cashier, sir, chalan bharna hai. Kyun? Wrong, you know, I have jumped the signal. Violation of traffic. Okay, so 24th. Miscellaneous. There is no heading for this. It comes under miscellaneous. Okay, 150. And the same is taken in the total also. Okay, next. On 27th, purchase books, memo books for 75 and the carrying cost is 25. Okay, so you know the attendant has to go and come, for him $25 and the cost of the book is 75, total 100. But don't be worried here. Okay, it is taken 200. This is a mistake. It is 100. Okay, this is 100 and this is also 100. The total also is 100. Okay, confusion? Any confusion? This is supposed
No, sir.
this is supposed to be 100 instead of 100. Okay. Next is 30th, January 30th. Paid for envelopes and letterheads 150. Paid for envelopes and letterheads 150. Okay, what is this? Paid for envelopes and letterheads.
Stationery.
Stationery. Okay, on January 30, stationery. Okay, under stationery against 30th date, you're writing number 150, and the same 150 is dropped in the total column.
Total amount.
Total column. Next, 31st, paid for refreshment 50. Paid for refreshment 50. Okay, where do you take that 50? Do you take in postage? No. Cartage? No. Stationery? No. Traveling? No. Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous 50. Miscellaneous 50. Okay. Right. And what is the total? What is the total? What is the total of the entire spending? Look at this: 50, 100, 150, 75, 350, 25, 150, 200. This is 100. This is 100. 100, 150, and 50. Okay. So from 50, 50 plus 150 to 200, and this is 100 plus 100. Okay. 300, 300 plus 150, 450, 475, 475 plus 75. 475, 50. Okay, 550 plus 350. Okay, 900, 900 plus 50, 950, 950, 1000, 1100, 1100, 1200, 1250. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, sir, it's 1350.
No, sir.
1250. 1250, man. Because yeah, 1350, you know, he got here this 150 because of this 200. Actually this is 100 only, na? This is 100. If it is 100, the total is 1250. If it is 200, the total is 150. If it is 200, the total is 1350, and the balancing figure would be 150. But because of this mistake, and which we fixed, which we rectified, we made this 200 as 100. When it is made 100, and the total comes to 1250. Okay, so 1500 is the amount received, na? Amount big at the beginning. There's 150 in hand and 1350 taken from the main cashier. Total in hand on the first day with the petty cashier was 1500. Okay, and the same amount is dropped here, 1500, and the total of this spending 1250. Okay, which is 1250. And the difference between this 1250 and 1500 is 250. It is not 150, it is 250. This is on the last day, that is January 31st. And the last day of the accounting period, that is January 31st, The balance carried down, the closing balance is 250. It is not 150, but 250. Okay, 250. What is closing now will become opening for the next accounting period. On February 1st, it will become 250. 250. Okay, as what? Balance brought down. Balance brought down. Okay, if 250 is available here, how much more do you need to make it again 1500? 1250 is
1250.
1250 is needed. So you will make a request to the main cashier for 1250. The main cashier gives a check of 1250 to the petty cashier again, and he deposits in the bank and gets cash on February 1st. Now the total amount available to spend for the next accounting period is 1500 again, just as in the beginning of the previous month. Okay, so this is called
Yes,
a
sir.
way of doing things, and this is columnar or analytical petty cash book. Petty cash book. There are no technicalities. Only thing is formatting. You have to remember the columns. Okay, and you have to use creativity to give headings. How many headings should be given? You can choose to give 3 headings. You can choose to give 5 headings depending on the availability. Okay, depending on the convenience and problem. Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
Now the next
The
problem.
time is up, sir.
Time is up.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Attendance, sir.
Attendance.